Welcome back to RTW Toxic, held in front of a sold-out crowd of 3,900 people in the Watsco Centre. We start off the show with our world champion, Bryan Danielson, with a nice new picture, which doesn't show he has more hair, but looks less awkward than the one where he doesn't have much hair, which I never liked. And, last week he was challenged by both Daniels and Silver, and he doesn't give a shit who he wrestles, He didn't care about if EC3 wrestling him, could have been anyone, He had a good match with Silver, but he didn't care about it was Silver. He will kick off the head of whoever faces him, so he can retain the title, because he came here, he won the title, never planned on having the title, but he got the title, and now he wants to keep it, having great matches along the way. It's not being heel, he's just being honest. Not many people are at the level where they could beat him. I mean, he only beat Silver. Daniels at the age where he probably couldn't beat Danielson. Just for Daniels, that is. So Bryan's not that scared. So they can face him if they want. They can decide it out, figure it out. He's going to sit back, and then he's going to be ready. Whoever gets the opportunity, but then he can face them at Jingle Bell Rock, and then beat them to retain. Well, you really write out these promos. I'm not good at them. It's fine. Segment of 48, the debut of the Shinobi Shadow Squad, which you brought up from Ring of Honor, because if you don't know, I don't think I actually told you. I don't think I've told you yet. Oh, wait, I don't think I've said anything about it. If I haven't said anything about it yet, then I own Ring of Honor. If I have said it before, then you already know. I don't think I have. So yeah, I own Ring of Honor because they didn't have a lot of money, and I bought the company, which seems kind of similar to the current scheme because they're doing a full reset because they didn't have enough money, I think. But that's probably one of the reasons. So they're doing a full reset. So instead of that, I bought the company. And the Shinobi Shadow Squad are going to they're not going to be booked well, and they're just going to lose a lot. In a Bohan Style Pro Wrestling Low Heat, the investment defeats Shinobi Shadow Squad in 12:23 when Rush pinned world famous Cheeseburger with a rush hour. There you go, yeah. Then when the 48, both members is, I'm just say Eli. I don't want to botch the last name. Eli and Cheeseburger both getting a 27. Chris Bay with a 58. Leo Rush with a 57. Both of them doing good. Okay, Eli's in experience, has poor psychology, and is in consistent. And the main takeaway from this match is I own Ring of Honor. I'm probably going to do something with that soon enough. There's probably going to be a point where I do something fun with that, but for now it's just a place I can put people. I don't want to use them on the main roster yet. I can save me on stuff. Post-match, as Rush and Bay celebrate their titles, Full Throttle come out, and it's like a quick little thing. They come out and they roll into the ring to stare off the people they want to challenge. It's like they laugh them off. And they stand determined. Actually, trying to stay back. Showing Miguel fully. What am I trying to say? What? I don't know what I was trying to say. I know what I was trying to say. I don't know how I was trying to say it. Trey Miguel, instead of just being more, calm about it, gets right up into Rush's face, gets the head thing going, and then, actually pulls them back because you don't want to start any fighting yet. Pulls them back. It's mainly just a way to signal that what they said last week wasn't just words this time. They are going for the tag titles. Then with the 49, now Jeff Cobb and Jacob Fatu, the remaining two members of the Destruction Crew we didn't see last week. Jeff Cobb kicked out Falabar, fully just took him out. You know, we lifted him up, he got lifted up, he got forearmed, and Jacob Fatu has seemingly accepted this. You know, Cobb, you know, doesn't describe it as them, describes it more as he. He was the one that had the cat. He's the one that had to lug around the dead weight of Fallah Bahh. He was the one that tried to push him up, and he failed. And Bahh was the one that failed to live up to the expectations. Then he did what was best for the group. And now the group's down to 2 people. But that's not the main focus. The main focus is still going after Samoa Joe. And there's not a match this week, but next week there will be a match which will be announced later on. Then main of 45 in a poor match, Marlon Reed defeats Mike Bennett in 12:55 by pinfall with a Sky Walker. Marlon Reed getting his 2nd win in a row. In the performance of a 46, Mike Bennett getting a 44. Reed benefiting of a new move still. Both of them were inconsistent, having a totally of 45. Doing good there. Then we had a 58 in a decent match. Silver in fast action since losing to Danielson. Defeats Chase Owens in 12:11 by pinfall with a silver bullet, getting an in-ring performance of a 72. Oh shit! Chase Owens with an in-ring performance of 30. No issues about that. It's basically just to get Silver's momentum up a bit after losing. They kept him strong, but you know, I wanted to get him like a match here, get him a win. You know, for the legitimate title, he still was going after the title. And then Owens, you know, was just fodder. 7 reign of 50. Gresham and Waltman in their backstage preparing strategy for, you know, the open challenge when Homicide from Ring of Honor approaches Gresham. You know, he's like, nice title, nice, you know, squeaky, shiny. I want it. And I don't want to be it from you normally. No, I want to have a little fun with you, John, before I take that title off you. So how about in the main event tonight, make things a little bit extreme? What do you say? And then Sean's like, hey, dude. You know, if you could have just come out and accept an open challenge happens every week. But, you know, an extreme, like, hardcore type match, you know, probably, you know, probably not the best situation here for Gresham or for the show at all. And then Gresham pushes Waltman out of the way and just says, I accept. As he doesn't care he has to fight. You could fight, you know, in a lumberjack match and all the lumberjacks hate him. You could fight with one arm tied behind his back. Gresham will fight no matter what. He doesn't care about a hardcore match. He's still going to fight against Homicide. And that's the main event. Homicide versus Jonathan Gresham. In a hardcore match for the international title. Yeah. Then main of 62, Samoa Joe is backstage when he gets approached by Fallah Bahh. Fallah Bahh's like, hey, I'm not here to, you know, I'm not. You saw it last week. I'm not one of them now, but you know, I'm not really happy with the way they did it. And sure, that's what I've been doing to people for the last like few months. And hey, that's on me. But I want revenge, obviously. So, Joe, let me help you. I don't care how, you know, we could. I want to get revenge. And Joe just stands there and remembers how he's not really the best and just laughs for like a couple of seconds. Snickers, has a little bit of a chuckle, and he just said, sure, why not? Sure, why not? You can't be that bad. And then, yeah. After that, we go into a triple threat match. Matt Cardona versus Brian Pillman Jr. versus debuting PJ Black. The bout that had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Brian Pillman Jr. defeated Matt Cardona and PJ Black in 13-47 when Pillman defeated PJ Black with a tornado DDT. Then weighing a 52 total. Matt Cardona getting a 50, Pillman Jr. getting a 53, and PJ Black getting a 41. Cardona benefiting from a groundswell of public support. Brian Pillman Jr. was inconsistent, and PJ Black has declining physical ability because he's apparently getting up there. And how old is PJ Black? I actually don't know what his age is. I think he might be in like his 40s. I don't know. I'm assuming so, based on that, but... A quick little segment up next, you know. It's like, this is what happens, like, right after the commercial break, you know. It's like, next week, you know, the Destruction Crew, Jeff Cobb, and Jacob Fatu will be facing Samoa Joe and Fallah Bahh in a tag team match. Player. It's a simple thing, just hyping the next match for next week. That's happening, you know, simple stuff. Same weight of 45, you know, afterwards over an interview. You know, just a random interview, they're about to ask him a question, he takes the mic, he said, you know, I've had an okay track record here so far, you know, having some wins, losing sometimes, but the difference is, you know, some of these people aren't really the best. All these wins, yeah, those people didn't challenge me whatsoever. I want to be challenged if I'm facing people. So you know what? I'm going to offer a little bit of a challenge on my own. I saw on Trick or Treat where Kenta showed up, New Japan wrestler, New Japan star. And that means I could challenge anyone from over there. Because if Kenta can show up, anyone can show up. So I'm going to offer down a fun little challenge. Hiroshi Tanahashi. He's challenging for the New Japan United States Championship. You know? It's like, he's like, what? Why is he doing that? He wants to face the best. He wants to prove that he is the best. And how can you do that from facing one of the best? Hiroshi Tanahashi. Will he get the match? Maybe. We'll have to find out in the next coming weeks. But this is the thing that I'm going to try to do with Pillman Jr. You know, he wants to be the best. He wants to fight the best. Simple. Main event time. Segment rating of 58. It's a nice main event. In a decent match, Jonathan Gresham defeated Homicide in 15 by 8 by pinfall with a German suplex hold, making defense number 11 of his international title. Homicide getting a 42, Gresham getting a 64. Homicide seemed off his game, but both of them had pretty good chemistry, and it lifted the match. Always remember these facts for later on. You know, if you see someone has pretty good chemistry, hold that in the back of your brain, because it could be important for the future. Now, Homicide also took a stump bump because of a hardcore stipulation. Also the reason. Homicide was inconsistent, had poor stamina, and had declined physical ability. Gresham still overwhelmed by a manager. I don't know if that's always the case. If it was always the case, then you might have noticed earlier. I thought you said, you know, he pushed Waltman out the way and accepted the challenge on his own behalf. You know, so I like you to calm down. You know, Waltman. How dare you push Waltman? You fiend. You fiend. However, next post-match, so in a 50 to end the show, as Gresham holds up the title. You know, he's battered, bruised, a little bit hurt. Strickland whacks him in the back with a barbed wire kendo stick. You know, he pulls it out. You can see that's stuck to his skin. Get the rips off the skin. A little bit of blood starts trickling down Gresham's back. He lands on his knees. He gets up, tries to start getting back up. He gets whacked for a second time in the back of the legs, which sends Gresham down. Gresham, you know, Strickland just looks down at him and looks around the crowd. Gresham tries to get up. Strickland, he aims it up like a baseball bat and then whacks it across the face of Jonathan Gresham, taking him out and causing him to bleed. Ooh. 57, let's get this last week. Overall better. Overall rating of a 57, losing popularity in 11 regions, increasing in 35 regions. Of course, for Canada, like top off point. I really like this show. Overall, the show didn't get a better rating, but I think the show was better than the previous episode of ICW Toxic. That's my opinion, because I'm a little bit more into the headspace of booking now, since, I wasn't, like, an hour or two ago where I actually recorded it, and I took like a half an hour break, and I was like, okay, let's do it! And so yeah, I'm more into this one. I enjoyed it more. You see, overall it's more evened out, no yellows. I preferred this show to last week's show, and we're continuing on the road to Jingle Bell Rock, which is our December pay-per-view. That was happening on the second week instead of the last week, because I plan on doing, they didn't say, I plan on doing a New Year's a special episode of ICW Toxic. ICW Toxic New Year's resolutions. It's actually a good title, I might keep it. Anyway, guys, see you guys for the next episode whenever that comes out. Yeah.